Lira, a 27-year-old, one of the most experienced divers on the circuit. Dos Santos, just 21, a youth Olympian from 2018. Like so many of the athletes here, they look thrilled to be in this beautiful, brand new complex. So many have been complimenting it. And here come the world champions in this event. Chang Yanyi and Chen Yiwen, state of the art when it comes to synchronized springboard diving. Chang comes from Jiantao in Hubei province, known as Gymnastics Town because of the gymnastics champions who have come there. Chen from Haikou is a place known, I should say, as Coconut City, a tourist destination. From France, a pair of sisters, Jade Gier and Nias Gier. Nias, 20 years old. Jade, 22, they hail from Rouen in the north. From Great Britain, Yasmin Harper and Scarlett Mew Jensen. Harper, a last-minute replacement for the injured Desharnais Bentashmil, who was originally supposed to pair with Jensen. And from Germany, Jana-Lisa Rotter and Lena Henschel. Henschel, the Olympic bronze medalist in this event from Tokyo. Five exciting pairs who will contest this final. But certainly all eyes will be on the world champions from China. But many questions to be answered. This is the first of 3 World Cup events that will be taking place in 2023. After this, they will move to the World Cup in Montreal in May, and the goal for the athletes under the new format introduced this year is to make it to the super final in Berlin, which is set in August. These are qualifying events. And now let's meet the athletes in the men's 3-meter synchronized springboard final. Representing Italy, Giovanni Tocci and Lorenzo Marsaglia. Both veteran divers, Tocci, 28-year-old and a 2-time Olympian. Marsaglia, the European champion last year in the individual springboard event. And of course, there is a roar for the Chinese pair, Wang Zhongyuan and Long Daoyi. They are very different despite being very close in age. Wang, of course, the Olympic champion in this event, and Long, a blank slate. From France, Jules Bouillet and Alexis Gendard. Bouillet, 20 years old from Lyon. Gendard, 25. The pair representing Great Britain in this event, Anthony Harding and Jack Law. Law, an unforgettable Olympic gold medalist in the men's synchronized 3-meter springboard from Rio. From Ukraine, here are Oleg Kolody and Danilo Konovalov. Kolody, a 30-year-old veteran. He is on your right. Konovalov celebrating his 20th birthday this week. And the last pair to be introduced from Germany, Lars Rudiger and Morris Weissman. Weissman standing in at the last minute for Timo Bartel. Rudiger, the 27-year-old from Berlin, the Olympic bronze medalist from Tokyo 2020. Somewhere amongst those 6 pairs, the gold, silver, and bronze medalists in this event. Who is it going to be? Well, we will find out soon. Stick around, why don't you? We will be starting off with the women's competition. 5 rounds. Each pair will do 1 dive in each round. The first 2 rounds will be rather compulsory in terms of the dives. The difficulty there is capped at 2.0, so we'll be seeing quite simple dives, and then they will be ramping up in difficulty. A look at the start list. Brazil's Luana Lira and Ana dos Santos will dive first, followed by the world champions Cheng Yani and Chen Yiwen. Final preparations being made. And the judges being presented by the arena announcer. Just a word about this beautiful arena. The athletes have been so complimentary. Everything brand new. It's beautiful on the inside. It's beautiful on the outside as well. It's shaped like a white flower. So when seen from the city, it has quite a blooming effect. And it is spring in Xi'an. The weather, a balmy 18 degrees Celsius. And it's quite bright inside here as well. And in the final to come, looking at the difficulty of the dives that each pair has planned, 4 pairs are quite comparable when you add up that difficulty. The French pair, the Gier sisters, have slightly less difficulty. They will be trying to rely on execution to get themselves on the podium. But whoever wants to get first place are likely going to have to affront the Chinese pair. They are really quite something. And the first to perform will be the Brazilians. Here are Luana Lira and Ana dos Santos. They will be doing an inward dive in the pike position. Clean and simple to get their competition underway. There is an ever so slight lack of synchronization when it comes to snapping down into the vertical. It looked like Lira really did it first. And the result, 7.5 and an 8. 45.6 to begin the competition for Luana Lira and Ana dos Santos. The pair that really needs no introduction, the 2022 world champions Cheng Yani and Chen Yiwen. They will be showing a back dive in the pike position. And just as we have heard all day, whenever the Chinese divers are on the platform or the springboard, there is just a roar of enthusiasm from the crowd inside this arena. And why not? Particularly when you get work like this as a result. Quick review of what they've done, and a 54.0. 9-0s are what the counting scores are. From France, the Gier sisters, Jade and Naïs, former gymnasts who converted to diving with a chance to try for Paris. Nice reverse pike. That is their first of 5 dives. They competed in club gymnastics for many years. They had aspirations to make the national team, and they were recruited to come to the National Performance Center and train at INSEP, the National Institute of Sport Expertise and Performance, just outside of Paris, to try diving. They've loved it. 42.6, the score for Jade and Naïs Gier. Yasmin Harper and Scarlett Mew Jensen of Great Britain. This is a back dive in the pike position. And quite a positive beginning to their day at the office. Harper, a 22-year-old from Sheffield, the national champion in 3-meter springboard. Mew Jensen, 21 years old, based in East London, and a Tokyo Olympian. 48, the score for Great Britain, and they go into second place, but there is still quite a lot to come. Nothing definitive yet, by any means. The last pair to perform in this first round, Jannelise Rotter and Lena Henschel of Germany. Once again, another clean start. But this is not the place where difficulty really comes into play. The divers at this point just trying to show clean basics, as they certainly did with this dive. And 46.8 puts the Germans into third place with the first round done. So dive 1 of 5 complete. It is China out in front, and the peloton consisting of Great Britain, Germany, Brazil, and France. But not a lot separates the divers. Separates the divers. The second dive for Luana Lira and Ana dos Santos of Brazil. This one will be a forward pike. The second dive now for Cheng Yani and Chen Yiwen of the People's Republic of China. And while technically a very good dive from both divers, there was a hint of being a bit out of sync. It's a little surprising and uncharacteristic of the Chinese. And quite clearly, they hit the water at different times. Will be interesting to see what the score for that is. 46.2. Indeed, there is slight room for improvement among the judges' marks. Naizhie and Jadjier of France. This is a back 1.5 with 1.5 twists. Very solid from the two former gymnasts from northern France. They say that they have very different qualities as divers. Nais, she's an explosive diver. Jade is known for her elegant lines. And they score 45.6. Yasmin Harper and Scarlett Mew Jensen preparing for their second dive. This will be a reverse pike. And that is received with enthusiasm by the British coaches, also by the crowd here. Mew Jensen has 8 medals at diving Grand Prix events, including 2 golds in this event from 2017. All that, she's still only 21 years old. 46.8, that keeps Great Britain in the hunt. They move into second place behind the People's Republic of China and in front of Brazil at the moment. But here are two who could potentially set the cat among the pigeons. It is Lena Henschel and Jana-Lisa Reuter of Germany. They will be doing an inward pike. Completing the rather compulsory diving portion of this women's 3-meter synchronized springboard final. The pair from Germany, Jana-Lisa Reuter and Lena Henschel. 45.6. Their score, that will put them in fourth at the moment. But as we move into the last three dives, everything is possible. Everything could change. A look at the standings after round 2 of 5. Once again, it is China in front, followed by Great Britain, Brazil moving up to third. There is plenty of support for the host nation. People have been thrilled at the prospect of coming out and seeing the Chinese superstars. And so we begin round 3. Luana Lira and Ana dos Santos of Brazil will lead things off with a back 2.5 in a pike position. 3.0, the degree of difficulty, significantly higher. Quite well executed in terms of synchronicity, clearly defined pike position, potentially some questions on entry. And that position, 58.5, the score for Lira and dos Santos. Cheng Yani and Chen Yiwen with their 3.0 difficulty dive. This will be an inward 2.5 in the pike position. Very, very well done. Just take a moment to admire the body position and the clean entry into the water. Very little splash. And they look happier with that than they did with the last dive. 71.1 for a total of 171.3. That is likely to keep them in the lead. Some slightly nervous moments for France as Naïs and Jadjier prepare for their third dive. This will be an inward 2.5 in the tuck position, slightly lower in difficulty than the dives we've seen so far in this round. Clearly a vertical position not established from the diver on the left, who is Jadjier, I believe, and 48.6. It's reflected in the scores, 6s for the pair from France. Yasmin Harper and Scarlett Mew Jensen preparing for their third dive. And this is the first one we've seen, a forward 2.5 somersaults with one twist in the pike position. There's a lot going on in this dive. The rotation and then the twist before needing to open out into the vertical position. Coach is quite pleased with that effort. 56.7 moves the British into third place. Jana-Lisa Rotter and Lena Henschel of Germany preparing for a forward 2.5 with a full twist. Very nice. Well executed. Just a slight deviation in when each diver hits the water. 6.5s and 7.5s. The judges a bit divided. 63.9 the total for Henschel and Rotter. So with round 3 complete, China remains in front, followed by Germany. Bolstered by that last dive, Brazil remains in third place. So with 2 dives left to perform, Luana Lira and Ana dos Santos of Brazil are in the provisional bronze medal position. And what a change for Germany, moving into second place. In terms of difficulty, this dive for Brazil puts them right in the middle of the pack in this round. This is a reverse 2.5 pike, 3.0 the tariff. And that may not help the Brazilian effort. Clearly the body position was not right. Going into the water, there was some under rotation. Let's take another look at it from a different angle. They're not quite rotating at the same time, but perhaps more of an issue is that under rotation. 4.5s and a score of 37.8 for Lira and dos Santos. And now the world champions, Cheng Yanni and Chen Yiwen. This is a forward 3.5 in the pike position. Triple flipping dive. And even when they are not quite together in the air or in hitting the water, their technique individually is so lovely that it almost masks any small errors that they make as a pair. The judges find fairly minimal things wrong. 78.12 for a total of 249.42. China is clearly out in front. And now with Brazil struggling, there is opportunity for other pairs. Jade and Nice Jie take to the springboard. Back 2.5 in the tuck position. Clearly, it's a very pretty dive. There is some splash on entry. The problem is that compared to the other dives that are being shown by the other pairs, the difficulty is not as high. However, 58.8 puts them ahead of Brazil at this point. So France moving on up. Fourth dive for Yasmin Harper and Scarlett Mew Jensen. This carries a 3.1 tariff. It is the forward 3.5 in the pike position. And once again, solidity from the pair from Great Britain. They were not supposed to dive together this weekend, Harper stepping in as a last-minute replacement for the injured Desharnais Bentashmiel. We do wish her all the best in her recovery from a shoulder injury. 66.03 for Harper and Mew Jensen, and that puts them in provisional silver medal position. So with one still to dive, it is currently the People's Republic of China, Britain, and France. But we have not had the German response. Here are Lena Henschel and Jana-Lisa Reuter. 3.1 for their forward 3.5, the same dive we just saw from Great Britain. Let's take another look. Yes, they aren't quite in time with each other in the air. However, hitting the water, they are in time, more or less. So it will be interesting to see how this scores. And 57.66 for 5.5s, a 6.0, and 6.5s. For Reuter and Henschel. And that moves them into third place. The standings after the fourth of 5 dives, it has been China all the way, but everyone else? Well, there has been movement, shall we say. At the moment, it is Great Britain in the silver medal position and Germany going for bronze. One round left to go, and it could be definitive. Between Great Britain and Germany, at this point, there are only about 4 points separating them. And so one dive could clearly make a difference. France and Brazil do seem to have faded away. They will probably need some help from the top 3 in order to make the podium. Coming off a difficult last dive, here are Luana Lira and Ana dos Santos of Brazil. Their final effort of the day. And this is the forward 2.5 somersault with one twist in the pike position, cleanly through. They really are a promising pair, and apart from the fourth dive where they had some problems, they have put on a good show today. 49.5 for their final dive and a total of 239.4. Nothing but solid, nothing but consistent, and nothing but beautiful. That is one way that we could sum up the diving of Cheng Yanyi and Chen Yiwen here in Xi'an. Just one to go. And you get the feeling that the crowd knows that it is most likely going to be a third gold medal out of 3 for the People's Republic of China. They are so technically proficient. This dive, the same as we saw from the Brazilians, the forward 2.5 with a twist, 80.1 for 329.52. Is that the winning score? We will find out in just a few minutes. One to go for the Jie sisters, and it is the forward 3.5 in the tuck position. 2.8 the degree of difficulty. Oh, and that was lovely in terms of how together they stayed during the duration of the dive. Certainly some splash on entry, certainly some things to refine in their work. But their objective is the Olympic Games in Paris next year. And they are making strides towards that objective. 47.88 for 243.48. And provisional second place for the pair from France. This could well be decisive for Great Britain. Here are Yasmin Harper and Scarlett Mew Jensen. The dive an inward 2.5 in the pike position. Well, give them a challenge and they step up to meet it. This was potentially the dive of the competition for Harper and Mew Jensen. Quite secure, quite cohesive, and hugs all around. 63.9 for 281.43, and the British have guaranteed themselves a medal. But what color will it be? That depends on these two. Once again, Lena Henschel and Jana Lisa Reuter. Well, the British know it now. They are on the podium. And it may well be that they are on the podium with a silver medal. This the reverse 2.5 in the pike position. There is quite a lot of splash on entry, indicating a bit of under rotation. And yes, it will be bronze for Henschel and Reuter. 51.3 gives them a total of 265.26. So there are your champions from the People's Republic of China, the world champions, Cheng Yanyi and Chen Yiwen. The woman from Gymnastics Town and the woman from Coconut City. Golden in Xi'an. Confirmation of the final results in the women's synchronized 3-meter springboard. Gold to Cheng Yani and Chen Yiwen, silver to Yasmin Harper and Scarlett Mew Jensen, bronze to Lena Henschel and Jana Lisa Reuter. So China makes it 3 for 3, courtesy of Cheng Yani and Chen Yiwen. Clearly the class of the field in this women's 3-meter synchronized springboard final. Let's have a look back at how they won it. Coming up in just a few minutes, we will have the men on the springboard. For the men's synchronized 3-meter springboard final, athletes currently taking their final warm-ups. And the competition will be underway in just a few minutes. Do stay with us.